¿Cómo se usa esto? ¿Qué es esto?
Es una máquina de recogimiento.
¿Y cómo se usa? ¿Era para cobrar? ¿Y ya no se usa? ¿Y la sabe usar usted?
This idea of attempting a project like a Bitcoin Beach style project in Mexico really came out of embarrassment, because there was this question on Twitter by Joe Nakamoto for Cointelegraph, and he asked publicly, is there a Bitcoin Beach Mexico? And we assumed that there'd be some project already doing something like that, and because there are a lot of projects in Mexico that we weren't aware of. And then when we found out there wasn't, then obviously out of shame and embarrassment, we said, well, we have to get together and start studying and plan a location somewhere.
What we did was, back in April, we had a decentralized conference. We called it Dinero Magico, and we introduced with many plebs. We had plebs come from all over the world and started to introduce Bitcoin to the town. And it's quite a touristy town on the beach, so we thought this would probably be the best place because it's going to have a lot of tourists come in, and we're hoping that more Bitcoin tourists can come and start injecting along with us.
Well, the idea was like to simplify our task, really, so we just want to tap into an existing network, which I believe it's something like 132 pueblos mágicos in the whole of Mexico, and it's a very successful tourism strategy. So successful, in fact, that it's been exported to Ecuador and I think other countries. So the idea is to get some kind of game theory and competition happening between the pueblos mágicos, because obviously they're fighting for the same tourist. So if we can get one or a handful of them adopting Bitcoin, then the rest of the existing network should be able to be inspired and take lessons from those that have already adopted. There are 4 pueblos mágicos in the whole of Yucatan, and the idea is to go one by one and introduce them to Bitcoin, and then that should give us visibility in terms of the whole state. And also strategically, the state of Yucatan within Mexico is a very important tourist destination at the moment, with some of the biggest infrastructure projects in the whole country. So the goal is to use this existing push that the government is doing to in parallel push the Bitcoin benefits. And right now it's a completely different point in history, because we actually have data, we have statistics from places like El Salvador and Guatemala, where the adoption of Bitcoin has been incredibly beneficial for the bottom line of the tourist locations. And then obviously the bigger plan eventually, and we're in talks about it with other projects within the region, so potentially establishing like the Bitcoin Mayan route, where people can come to Merida, then go down to Guatemala, to Bitcoin Lake, and then go down to El Zonte, and then even, well, it wouldn't be Mayan Mayan anymore, but even down to Costa Rica afterwards. So I think that there will be a big push in the whole region. There's even the idea of trying to do an economic zone between the three countries, between Mexico, Guatemala, and El Salvador for those towns that have adopted Bitcoin. So it's a long road ahead, but we started driving today too.
We're going to Sisal today. Very excited. This is the first Pueblo Magico that we introduced Bitcoin